Welcome to sportsbookreview.com. I'm Flash, and it's the Premier League. It's the last week. What a tough year this has been. Remember being a Liverpool fan. 20 points you win the league last year. Now you're scraping to get into the top four, even though it is in their own hands. I've got Matt and I've got Martin with me. But first of all, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. Ring the bell means I'll notify you and you'll never miss any content again. And if you press the link in the description, that'll take you over to articles read by either Martin or Alex or Tan. But every video covered here at SBR is accompanied by an article, and there's sports that we don't cover on video. That definitely has articles. Now, I want you to put your thumbs up. I want you to have a little bit of chat. If you've got something you want to say, get yourselves in there because it's the last game. So don't be thinking, oh, could have said this or that. But I've got Martin and Matt. Martin, Arsenal winning right at the death away at Palace. And now they look to go back to back.
Yeah, I called it, didn't I? Arsenal to win. Everyone doubted. But it's classic Arsenal to win when there's no pressure, when it doesn't mean anything, when the season's dead and buried. They remember how to play because they've got no backbone. They've got no spine. A lot of work needs to be done in the summer transfer window. But yeah, they've got a faint chance of qualifying for the Europa Conference League, which sounds terrible.
What is that?
I'd prefer it if they didn't qualify for it. But yeah, I mean, I think they should still beat Brighton, and we'll see if other results go their way. It would be great to finish above Tottenham. These are the sort of small things that Arsenal fans need now.
And Liverpool, Matt? Well, listen, are they going to? Will they fall at the final hurdle? Do you think that's the job done now?
Well, first off, it looks like there's just a lot of injuries for Crystal Palace this week, so that's possibly why the line is where it is, and obviously the extra bit of motivation. But it's Roy Hodgson's last match. I mean, you know that he's going to want to give Liverpool a really competitive showing here. Zaha will be there. It looks like Benteke is going to be a late fitness test, but there's some pieces there that will be out that should make things easier for Liverpool. But we've got a great last day here. Leicester, Chelsea, Liverpool. Two will be in, one will be out. We saw what happened with Leicester last year, collapsing in the the ending stretch run there, and the same thing has happened this year. So it is all in Liverpool's hands, and I'm just hoping for 3 points.
Okay, let's kick straight off then because we've got Arsenal at minus 155. They only seem to win when they're minus, but there again, they get beat when they're at minus as well. Draw 355, and Brighton at plus 450. Brighton, you've liked them all season, Martin. They can play a nice game. Is Arsenal the perfect opponent for them?
Arsenal have proved to be the perfect opponent for Brighton quite a lot in recent seasons. Brighton have a very good record against Arsenal, which is pretty embarrassing for the Gunners, really. Arsenal did break that, though, earlier in the campaign. They picked up a 1-0 win at the Amex, which I guess is quite morale-boosting ahead of this match. I think Arsenal should just about be able to get the job done. Once again, this is the sort of level that Arsenal are at now. Not sure if we're going to beat Brighton at home. But Brighton don't really have anything left to play for. Their cup final was beating Man City last weekend, or in the midweek, sorry. That was a terrific game. I know they were playing against 10 men for a lot of it, but they did really well there. But I think at home, Arsenal should get the job done. It'll be the first game in which the fans are back, so there'll be a tiny bit of atmosphere there. And yeah, they've won 4 in a row. They're playing without pressure now. And yeah, I think if you get the likes of Saka, Odegaard, Smith Rowe, they should be just good enough to open up this defence. I don't think we're going to see 1-0 again. I think we can see more goals in this one. So I have gone for Arsenal and over 1.5 goals, minus 110.
Yeah, I mean, you've gone nowhere near the under 4.5, thinking that they could put a show on the last day.
Yeah, you never know with Arsenal, and especially with Brighton. Their finishing has been so haphazard all season. They create, they have so much possession. They create chances. They just can't score. If for some reason they find their shooting boots, it could be a classic game. Welbeck could be back, so he'll want to put on a show against his former employers. Yeah, you never know. Could be another thrilling 3-2. I'm looking more for overs rather than unders after that last Brighton game in midweek.
Matt, do you think that there's Brighton are going to have their suitors? Do you think they're going to be looking at maybe draw no bet Brighton or double chance Brighton?
Just goals for me. I think the best angle here is to look at goals with Dunk out of the lineup because of the red card. That's a concern. And it's the final day. I think that Arsenal want to put on a show in front of their fans. And I believe that there will be over 3 goals in this match. So looking at an over 2 3/4 line at -110, that suits the eye. I believe there should be 3 to 4 goals in this match. Brighton will come out. We know how they want to play under Graham Potter all season. They're safe. They're going to come out and try and score a couple of goals. And I've seen Maupay do some things against Arsenal before and cause problems. So, yeah, this looks like both teams to score. Arsenal probably do just scrape it, but I think the smartest play is just to leave the winner's market alone and just go for goals here, especially on the final day.
Okay, well, if there's goals going to be at the Emirates, I fancy there'll be goals at Villa Park because it's Villa at +600. Now, they will have their suitors. Draw +380 and Chelsea at -200. We expect Chelsea to go there and do a job. Remember, it's only a week away from the Champions League final.
Exactly. And this is it's just a massive match, and that's why this is one of the matches where I wouldn't really look towards goals. I know that Villa can put it up in bunches at times, but Thomas Tuchel is going to be very, cautious here and how they've played ever since he's come and been the manager there. It's been unders really, like, Chelsea and under 3.5s have come in a lot. Something here tells me, though, that Villa are going to hang tough. I think that getting Villa onside, so I think that this match is unders, really, just by the way that Chelsea's DNA is right now. So I think that getting the goal in the quarter on your side, so if Villa do lose by 1, you would win half your stake. I think that that's the way to go here. I think that Villa, when they have this full lineup in, they score goals, yes, but they are more so just competitive. They will compete with Chelsea. They will fight for every ball here, and they want to ruin the party. So also, N'Golo Kante is questionable. He came out of that last match. Is he just looking to try and be fully fit for the Champions League final? Because I can tell you what, if Kante is not in this lineup, that +1 1/4 is going to look like a gift pre-match.
He can't be in the lineup. There's no way. They cannot risk him getting further injury. And what is there to gain out of him playing? They've got a squad that will fit up 2 buses. So there's no way that he can play. If he plays, that's the biggest risk, Martin, that probably Chelsea have taken all season.
Indeed, I wouldn't play Kante because he's such an important player. He could make the difference against Man City. He's their key man for me, especially with the way that Man City keep the ball in midfield. Otherwise, though, apart from Kante, Thomas Tuchel can't really afford to rest players in this game. He doesn't have the luxury that Guardiola has. Guardiola can leave everyone out for their final game of the season, whereas Chelsea, they've got to win. You never know. I mean, Liverpool should win. Leicester could easily do a number on Spurs. If Chelsea don't win this game, all the good work they did in midweek beating Leicester counts for nothing. Then they're out of the top 4. They go into the Champions League final knowing that they can only qualify for next season's Champions League by winning it. Much better to get the job done, get in the top 4, have a week to recover and try to beat Man City. So I think they will get the job done in this one. I don't see it being a particularly high-scoring game. I think Villa will keep things pretty tight. Just haven't been particularly impressed with them since Grealish was injured in mid-February. Their form has really tailed off. They haven't really got anything left to play for.
But they score goals, though, don't they?
And he is back, too.
Well, yeah, but he's going to be pretty. If he plays in this game, he's not going to be very sharp, I would say. And the way Chelsea play, they stifle the opposition. They control the game. They finished 1-1 when these teams met earlier in the season, but Chelsea is so much better now. Tuchel's dragged them from 9th to 3rd into the Champions League final. They beat Real Madrid, beat Atletico Madrid, very impressive team. Bounced back from that cup final defeat by beating Leicester. I think they'll go on and beat Aston Villa in this one. I went for Aston Villa and under 4.5 goals at -120. Would also think about Chelsea,
not Villa. You go Chelsea and under 4.5.
Yeah. Sorry, Chelsea and under 4.5. I'd also think about Chelsea half-time, full-time maybe, but I see this being an unders game. I see it being a low-scoring game. Chelsea do just enough to get the job done, coast to victory in the second half.
Okay, well, I'm happy to go in the next game because it's Fulham at plus 115. Who's kidding who here? Plus 115. Draw plus 300 and Newcastle at plus 240. I've just taken the 240. I've just taken Newcastle. Since they got safe, they're just all out attack. They should have scored 8 or 9 midweek against Sheffield United. Yeah, they were hanging on. Yes, Sheffield United opened up. I see nothing different in this game. And if you give me Fulham at 115 or Newcastle at plus 240, Martin, I'm going with Newcastle.
Good. I hope it does. I hope it pays off for you, Flash. I have zero interest in this game, I'm afraid. Fulham already relegated. Newcastle already safe. Fulham just drew 1-1 with Man United in a game that I thought Man United would win comfortably. Don't want to bet against Fulham now. I agree with you, though. I don't think Fulham deserve to be the favourites, and it is a huge, huge price on Newcastle.
Yeah, it is. And that's why I've just gone with the numbers, Matt.
This one, okay. So, St. Maximum's out of the lineup here, and that is that's a huge issue. And we saw what Newcastle were doing. I mean, that was a banker from you, Flash, last week, and it was a winner. But we saw what Sheffield United were doing to Newcastle in the second half. It was anything but comfortable here. And something tells me that the way that the books have priced this one out, I think that this is probably a look towards Fulham. I just do. Just why are Newcastle at plus 240 here? Why is this not a plus 165 on both sides and a draw no bet here? It just makes me question that. And Fulham coming back at Old Trafford, in front of their fans was impressive here. And I just think that obviously both teams really have nothing to play for but pride. I believe that Fulham here, just the way that it's priced out, it makes me have that feeling that I would want to have Fulham on my side.
Okay, what about Leeds minus 215, Matt? The draw plus 450 and West Brom at plus 600. I cannot get Leeds right, so I've just gone with there will be goals. Both sides will score, and so that means it's the Alex Classic for me because I go against Leeds, they win. I go with Leeds, they find a way to draw. If I go overs, they go unders. I go unders, they go overs.
Yes, I'm here with goals. I think that goals happen here. It's the final day, but I did just pull up some of the injury concerns, and I see Matheus Pereira there, and that is West Brom's catalyst, and who is a player that he's caught the eye for me to where I believe that some of these teams, when West Brom go down, are going to dip their toes in on him. He's 25 years old, a young Brazilian, really good left peg. I think that I really want him in this lineup because he makes West Brom go, and he makes them, play just more free-flowing, attacking football, and it just catches the eye a bit more. But yes, I think that just the way that this one sets up here, Big Sam, he's leaving. I think that they should go out here and try and have a good time, and that should lead to goals. And I can see Leeds scoring 3 to 4 on their own. I believe the last time that these two teams faced, Leeds battered them. I don't see any reason why that couldn't happen again. Over 3.25 is what I'm looking at. But I do really want Pereira in that lineup because he scores goals. He assists goals. He's a really big player for West Brom.
Martin, little 4-1 Leeds. That'll do us.
Oh, I hope not, Flash, because I ended up going for Leeds and under 4.5 goals. So I'm hoping.
Oh, well, 3-1's all right then, or 2-1.
I was looking
at 3-1 we want.
I really wanted to do Leeds and over 1.5 goals. I thought that's a great bet, but the odds the odds were terrible on it. So I had to just go for unders. I'm thinking 3-0 Leeds, 4-0 Leeds.
No nils. I've got Alex Classic. No nils.
Maybe win to nil, but West Brom. I think West Brom will chuck in the towel. Sam Allardyce is just having a right go at everyone. He's not going down in a graceful fashion. He's already quit. He's having a row with Michail Antonio. He's He's not exactly coated himself in glory this season. So who knows what they'll do on the last day of the season. But yeah, I'm more focused on Leeds. I've been betting on them week in, week out in recent weeks, and it's done me good. They've been sweeping teams aside. I think they'll get their last 3 games have gone under 4.5 goals, as have West Brom's just about. Maybe you could go Leeds and over 2.5 goals if you wanted to take a different approach, but I'm going to stick with what I've gone for, Leeds and the under 4.5 goals.
I've just gone Alex Classic. Both teams to score and over and don't care who wins. I mean, I won't be surprised if West Brom go and win at plus 600. But next game is massive. We're going to Anfield. We're going Liverpool minus 550. Yeah, okay. Draw plus 800 and Palace at plus 1600. Now, I remember Palace 3 or 4 years ago. I had them at plus 800 and I thought I was stealing it. Matt, I've got to come to you because you're the Liverpool fan. Do we think that Chelsea, Crystal Palace can throw a real spanner in the works here?
I wouldn't be shocked. I really wouldn't be. Yeah. When I looked at this match and I saw now it's up to minus 670, I mean, that is an overreaction. That is a market overreaction because of Liverpool having motivation. And so I think that the books choose to then add an extra 100 basically to it. Should be maybe at the opening line. I was thinking this is probably a minus 500, minus 400, somewhere in that mix. Now that it's up to almost minus 700, it's very odd to me. I mean, I think that Palace still have Zaha. Yes. I have a feeling that Benteke, he's questionable. I can see him. He's going to be a late fitness test. If he goes, he can cause Nat Phillips and Reece Williams problems. That's for sure. And he's got revenge on Liverpool too from his past days there when he just wasn't even being played by Jurgen Klopp. They've got motivation as well. It's Roy Hodgson's last day. There is no way that even me as a Liverpool fan, I cannot get on Palace here at plus 2.5 goals. I mean, I think it's maybe one of the best bets of the entire season. Well, Liverpool, yes, they go to Burnley and they do end up winning 3-0, but it wasn't really comfortable. The first half, Burnley had some really good looks, Wood missed some really big opportunities. I'm not so sure Zaha's missing those kind of opportunities, a better quality player. So this is one of those. I mean, do I think that Liverpool win this match and scrape it? Probably. I think that the best way if you want to get Liverpool on your side, I think it's looking at both teams to score and Liverpool to win at plus 170. I think that is where you find the value if you're looking at Liverpool, because I do think that they concede here. I thought that Arsenal would concede against Palace, and they did. I think that Liverpool concede as well, so which will really make things interesting. And both teams to score is at 2.0 in this match. So it's one of those where I do think that Liverpool win the match. I'm not going anywhere near the minus 550. It's not a good parlay piece. It doesn't add any value here. I think that Palace can stay within the handicap, and I think that both teams score. I think that this is a 2-1, 3-1 to Liverpool, and that's just where I see it. But it's a fascinating game. There will be some fans in the stands, but it could get nervy too. So it's all about, can Liverpool come out of the traps and get a goal somewhat? I mean, they waited all the way till the 45th minute against Burnley. They need to come out here and get one. But again, I touched on at the beginning of the show, Milivojevic, he'll be out. You know, there's just he's a big piece for me in the middle of the park for Palace. So it's little things like that are making this line so out of whack. But yeah, Palace plus 2.5 here. I don't see them getting beat by 3. I really don't.
Cannot believe you didn't mention Salah to score at any time, going for that golden boot, Martin.
Well, you can't bet on Salah any time because he's like minus 250 or something to score any time. Terrible odds. That was my first inclination. The only way you can get any value is you can bet on him first goal scorer at plus 185, or you can bet on him to score twice in the game at a similar sort of price. Could be interesting. I quite like the idea of Salah to score first. Very sort of small stake prop bet. But yeah, I agree. I think the sports books have kind of priced people out of this game a little bit. I think the main determining factor for the odds is that Liverpool beat Crystal Palace 7-0 when they last met. It was a rout. It was the most one-sided game of the season. I think Firmino scored twice, Salah scored twice. They killed them. So, yeah, I wasn't particularly impressed with Crystal Palace against Arsenal. I think Liverpool get the job done here. I was actually looking at maybe Liverpool to win 2-0 if I was going to go for anything at about minus 108. But yeah, I don't like it that much, so I'm passing the game.
Maybe it's a lineup check and see how many, see if Palace actually play some of the young guns, in which case they're going to have energy. It's a tough old game to go near. I cannot believe that this is the last game of the season. Sheffield United plus 190, Martin, draw plus 275, and Burnley at plus 140. I'm the nard at this game, wanted to come down on the draw. In the end, I left it.
Yeah, I didn't even consider this one, to be honest, Flash.
No.
I don't know what the odds on under 2.5 goals are. That would probably be the way that I would think about playing it. You generally see pretty drab games when Sheffield United are involved. Lost 1-0, won 1-0. They have been a bit more solid than you would expect since Chris Wilder left. But I just think these are two teams that play a very similar brand of football. They fight for every ball. They're scrappy. They cross lots into the box. Big strikers. I think it's not going to be one for the purists. Don't know who's going to win.
No, it's not one for the purists. And to be honest, it shouldn't really be in there. But it was so bad, I just thought that I would stick it in there, Matt.
Yeah. This is one that I really struggled. I took a look at and I did my normal handicapping on it, and I didn't come up with anything because of what you guys have touched on, essentially. But there's this, this inkling that I have, that it's the last day, and that what do these teams really have to play for? I mean, so why can't we see maybe some goals from the teams that don't really score goals? It's like one of those where it's like, I think a lot of people here just will get on the unders possibly and not be remembering that this is the final day of the Premier League and these two teams have absolutely nothing to play for. Burnley have been filling the back of the net. They had a couple good looks against Liverpool, and then the matches prior, they've scored a few goals. I know that they were blanked against Leeds as well, but prior to that, they were scoring.
Plus 275, draw.
Yeah.
Unders.
Yeah.
1-1,
maybe like a
0-0.
1-1 or a 2-2.
Wow.
I could see both teams scoring here on the final day. That's where I would go, just because of there's really nothing here that's worth anything.
Okay, well let's go to East London because there's something definitely worth playing for there. It's West Ham at minus 155, too short, draw plus 285, and Southampton at a massive plus 390. Matt.
Yeah, so in this one, with Declan Rice being back in the lineup, I like West Ham here to get the job done. I think that they've been playing phenomenal over the last, really the whole season. They've been pretty consistent, especially when he's been in the lineup. The reason that they're not in this top four discussion is because their linchpin in the middle of the park was injured for over a month, and he's been massive to them. So he's back now. Southampton, I looked at goals. I think that Southampton probably find the back of the net. But West Ham have just been filling it up so much that, that there's not a ton of pressure really in this match. Southampton can play freely. West Ham definitely want European places. But I just think that West Ham will win this game, and I could see this being like a 3-1. So I don't like the price at minus 155 on West Ham. It's down to 140. So there is money coming in on Southampton here, which is probably correct. But I think that West Ham -1 at a good plus price suits me, because I do think that they win this game, and I think that they could win it by a margin.
Wow, win it by a margin, Martin. I've gone for the Alex Classic and don't care who wins.
I've gone for West Ham to win this game. Yeah, I think it would be. I know they've missed out on the Champions League, but come on, it'd be huge for West Ham to finish 6th. You know how they've been struggling against relegation for so many years now, despite always having pretty good players. And Yeah, David Moyes has done a terrific job. I mean, surely a Manager of the Year candidate. And one last hurdle, get the job done against a pretty underwhelming Southampton side that were just taken apart by Leeds. I think at home, final day of the season, there's going to be a few fans inside the old London Stadium. Got to go with the Hammers to get the job done. I got -127 on West Ham. Don't care how they win, but I think they win. Made a ton of money betting on West Ham this season, so I'm going once more unto the breach, dear friends.
Yeah, I mean the three ones that you wanted to go with this year was probably Man City win to 0, West Ham just win, and Leeds. And fade, obviously, them bottom three sides, even though Fulham had a whole host of draws. Esteban, can we stick up the official picks, please? Let's have a little look at these then. So Martin's picked Arsenal to win and over 1.5 at -110. Chelsea win and under 4.5 at -120. Leeds to win and under 4.5 at +105. West Ham at -127. And you've stuck Wolves in there at +115, which we didn't mention, but I'll come back and we'll have a little chat about that. Matt's picked Villa +1.25 at -120. Leeds over 3.25 at -110. Crystal Palace +2.5 goals on the handicap at -130. And that's his banker. I mean, yeah, I won't even bother telling you how strong a banker he thinks that is. West Ham -1 at +130. Now, for me, it's just Leeds, Alex Classic -135. West Ham, Alex Classic at -110. And Newcastle gets me my value at 240. Now, let's go back. Martin, just give me the reasons why you've put Wolves in there.
That's actually under 2.5 goals, Flash. In the game, yeah? This is Wolves game. I got +115 on under 2.5 goals because the last 5 games between those teams have seen under 2.5 goals. Wolves haven't exactly been particularly dynamic in front of goal this season. I think Man United will have one eye on the Wednesday's Europa League fixture. So they're not going to play many big guns, but they're still unbeaten on the road since January 2020. All season, they've gone the whole campaign unbeaten on the road. They can bring in the likes of Matic, Van der Beek, Mata, decent players that can come into the team. So I can see it finishing 0-0, 1-1, 1-0, something like that. So I've gone for under 2.5 goals.
Okay, well, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. Ring the bell means that we'll notify you and you'll not miss any content again. And you press the link in the description, it will take you over to all the articles from every single sport that we cover here on SBR. Gives me time to say thank you to Matt for this season. We roll on next season and we look forward to it. Martin, have a great summer. Obviously, we're going to be very, very busy with the Euros coming up. Thanks to everyone in the chat and have a good weekend. You take care.
You too.
Thanks, Flash.